What is up, everybody? This is TB3 Sports Talk, episode 114. I'm here with Joel.
Who would have ever thought we'd have got this high up?
Yeah, we're getting there. And, I mean, it's even more than that because we've done a lot of specials.
Yeah, a lot of the college football stuff, some specials.
Mm-hmm. I should, somebody should go back and count it up because we could be getting close to 150.
Who needs somebody when you can just get AI? Yeah, I could probably do that in easy peasy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
I trust him with my life.
Really? Which one do you use?
Gemini's pretty good. I'll use Gemini in chat.
Yeah, Gemini is good. I've been stuck with ChatGPT. It's kind of been my go-to.
Gemini's better, though.
It is. ChatGPT lies to you, too. It'll lie to me a bunch, and it makes me so mad.
It exaggerates. That's what it says.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating. And
then, it'll just, it's like it rage baits you. Like it, you'll call it out on its mistake, and it'll be like, oh, you're so right.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, my apologies, I won't do it again. It immediately does it again, But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Thankfully, the show isn't run by AI. This is all facts. This is all our opinions, straight from the mouth.
2 humans.
Yep, 2 humans, fans of the team. I've seen a lot of that, man. We need more voices in the Tampa area who are fans, and this is a perfect show. So, a plug for our own show. But I hope you listen because we are fans of all the teams. We love covering them. We watch every game. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I think I'll just start off with the University of South Florida, the Bulls, a little spring game action. Colby, who's not here, and I were able to go to that on Sunday. Not a whole lot from it. It was kind of like a practice, really.
I didn't realize it was at the soccer stadium. I was like, what you doing over there?
Yeah, it's cool that they have it there, and it was nice seeing, the stadium is getting built up. It's looking pretty big. They're plugging away at it.
Is that 2028 or 2029?
7.
Ooh, that's right around the corner.
Right? Yeah, 2027. Yeah, so it's close, and I cannot wait. I know they're talking about they're going to open it up for the media to kind of have a little walk through that. I don't know if I'll be able to go, but Colby might, so that'll be interesting. So stay tuned for that.
Wow.
You might get a sneak peek of the new Bulls Stadium. And just some quick notes from the game. Offensive line, offense in general, looks pretty solid. I think that was the big highlight of the day. Offensive line, they're able to create some huge run lanes. They're able to keep both quarterbacks upright for the most part and give them a lot of time in the pocket. Saw a lot of running backs score some touchdowns, have a big run. Saw Morgan State transfer Jason Collins Jr. get one, Chase Garnett, Connor Matthews, and then Alvin Isaac had a big run as well. So that was a bright spot to see. I'd say for the passing game, I'd say no quarterback out of the two. It was really Kromenhoek and Van Buren who took most of the reps. Nobody really stood out to me in passing, but Van Buren definitely, he's dangerous with his legs, very dangerous. So I think that's going to be something that might gives him the edge. I know Brian Hartline, the new head coach, talking about how the competition is still open, it's still ongoing, so we'll see where that takes us. But I'd say Van Buren probably has a slight edge, although Luke Kromenhoek made some nice throws throughout the day. Secondary for USF was really locking it down. And while, both quarterbacks had a lot of time to throw, the secondary, the coverage on the back end was really good. So it did force them to scramble a lot, both quarterbacks. So that's all my notes. If you want a bigger in-depth, some more in-depth stuff on it, there wasn't stats on the game. They didn't keep track of stats. Go to Colby's page on Twitter. He wrote a nice article kind of covering all that stuff. So, yeah, take a look at that. And that's USF.
You're pleased with everything you could see out of the head coach so far?
I'm bought in.
Okay.
I'm really bought in.
Right.
I think he's a first-time head coach, but he just felt
it felt good.
Felt like he'd been there before, and he was just so confident. Needs to wear some sunscreen, though. He said he didn't really like wearing sunscreen. You could tell in his face it's getting that little bit of swelling, when you get a really bad sunburn.
Nah, that'd be cool, though. Give him, by the end of his tenure with USF, he'll be, nice and, leathery.
Yeah, it'll be like a baseball mitt.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
But yeah, I feel bought in, and just everything that he was saying, and it just you feel confident. You feel really confident going in. I'm excited to see what this team will actually look like. It's really hard in the spring game. Even last year when we went, there was really nothing. They don't want to give a whole lot of stuff away, especially when it's open to the public. They're not going to show everything. So even with last year, you didn't really look at that team and go they were going to be as good as they were throughout the season, and how great all the great wins they had and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it all comes together at the end.
Nice.
Did you see the comments Golish made?
No.
Oh man, we should talk about this real quick. He was on some interview on USA Today, basically said that he chose Auburn because USF there's just no possible chance to win a championship at USF. But regardless whether there's a slight truth to that in the new NIL era, and there's a lot of debate on it, that guy was 2 wins away from going to the playoffs last year to have a chance to win the national championship, and he blew both games. 2 games they should have won against Memphis and against Navy. You have any thoughts on that? Dig?
That's definitely telling on his part. It's I don't know why guys will say stuff like that. It's just keep your mouth shut. You don't want to burn any bridges. Now somebody's going to see that and be like, oh, we're not going to let him get the next stepping stone in his coaching career because he, said something he shouldn't have said. Is he going to say that with us? Is he going to say something he shouldn't say with us? And it's keep your mouth shut, man.
Yeah, I know. And
a fool looks wise when he keeps his mouth shut, as the proverb
Very
say.
true. Very true. And what bothers me is, this isn't, you could probably make that argument with a lot of G5 schools. And again, we have yet to see a G5 school really take the next step into getting close. They've been to the playoffs now, in the expanded playoffs 2 years, have not won a game. But you look at USF, you look at how much money is being poured in and all the resources they have there, and you really believe that they could do it. And I truly believe that, if there's any G5 team to break through that barrier to become, a team who compete for championships, that is USF. Just with Rob Higgins, the CEO of athletics, and all the great support from the donors and everything like that, and all the new stadium, all these great things that are coming. It's how could you say that, number one? Number two, half of Auburn's team is the same USF guys
True.
Who came with them. So if you couldn't win there with these guys, how come you're supposed to win now in the SEC? It just makes you mad. You feel bad, and we sat in there, and he seemed like a cool guy. But it's man, I just can't stand him now, and you want to see him fail. He's dead to me at this point. But
what if he comes and coaches the Seminoles?
I wouldn't want him. I think he's a snake oil salesman.
There you go. All right.
He's a grifter.
You heard it. You heard it from here.
He is 100% a grifter. I like that shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
A little retro.
I was ooh, I didn't even realize Colby wasn't going to be here, but it worked out.
Yeah, I like seeing the Seminoles gear. I'm sick of the Gators.
No more Gators.
I was supposed to wear a Lightning shirt. On the way to work today, I had a chocolate croissant.
Oh, no.
And somehow, I don't know how, it got all over this shirt. I wasn't wearing it. It just got on it while I was sitting in the seat next to me. So I'm wearing this one.
It works.
A nice little City Connect.
It's good.
But let's get to probably the biggest news and the team that is in the playoffs right now, the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are tied in the series 1-1 with the Montreal Canadiens after their 2 first home games. And a crazy game last night, to say the least. And I think we can go into it right away. I guess we'll go quickly into Game 1. Lightning lost 4-3 in overtime. Canadiens, I think the biggest thing for me in that game was how terrible the Lightning were on defense. I thought it was pretty terrible the entire game, and then especially the penalty kill. I know you're down an extra man, but they look completely lost.
And the amount of penalties that they were taking too. It's you got to know that your penalty kill is that bad, and at that point you have to do anything you can not to take a penalty. So.
Yeah, they have to be way more disciplined, and we'll talk about that too going into the next game. But yeah, Canadiens went 3 for 5 in Game 1 on the power play. Juraj Slavkovsky scoring all 3 of those goals on the power play.
I saw a couple hats go on the ice. I was like, oh, come on.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, I can't stand Canadian fans. They travel here to the game, and then all I've seen is them talking bad about Benchmark Arena and how it's quiet in there and there's no energy.
It's because you guys bottle the tickets up. You guys aren't bringing the energy.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you just stay in Canada then and don't worry about it?
The reason why is they can probably buy the whole series of home games here versus buying one game in Canada.
Yeah, it's probably too expensive up there.
Yeah, that's what it is, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but I can't stand that. So, yeah, they Canadiens did very well in the power play. Lightning had a lead at one point in this game, and it kind of came off. It was supposed to be 2-0, but the referees ruled.
I was surprised by that one too.
Yeah, it did get way too high. I would have been really mad if they didn't overturn it. That was Anderson. He reached his stick up above, was at the top of the net, which would be a high stick, and it ricocheted in. Thankfully, refs overturned it, and after that,
did they call 2 goals off? Because wasn't there an offside in that game too? Or is that game 2? I might be mixing games.
I don't remember a goal being disallowed in this last game, but
game 1 or game 2?
Game 2.
Okay,
I just know this one.
In game 1, there was an offside.
There's another one. Okay, yeah, I mean,
so refs have been blessing us.
Yeah, they did. They did, but I still get mad because I think, especially in the second game, just how a lot of cheap, a lot of nasty hits from the Canadiens, and the refs weren't doing anything about it. Somehow we were ending up with the penalties.
Hagel ended that one. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, that was great. Well, I can't wait to get to that, but back to game 1 here. So, when it's almost 2-0, it ends up being 1-0, and I think that helped the Lightning out because they finally break through in the power play with the goal by Darren Radish, and 29 seconds later.
Was spicy.
Oh yeah, that was it. Just
I can't imagine how hot that came off the stick.
It was. He ripped that thing. That was awesome. And then 30 seconds later, Hagel takes the lead 2-1, and we're thinking, okay, we're finally seeing the Lightning after playing pretty poorly on defense. Here they are. They come back, and then
especially from those 2 players. I mean, like those are kind of your gritty, like extra guys where it's like, all right, if they're scoring, just wait until Ginsel and Cooch start scoring.
Exactly. And unfortunately, that wouldn't be the case for this game. At the end of the second period, the Canadiens would tie it on the power play with just 24 seconds left. And I just feel like that's been a thing all season is the Lightning get hot, they get a goal, and then they just immediately give up the lead or immediately let it get tied up. And that's what happened in this game, on the power play. Then, right away into the third period, the Canadiens take the lead. And about the 9-minute mark, Brandon Hagel would tie it with another goal. Just absolutely great stuff from him. And then I think this is what really doomed them. Is just at the end of the third period, we're expecting overtime, and Jake Gensel gets called for high sticking, and he's trying to bat the puck down, keep it in play, and I just think it was undisciplined. He just shouldn't have done that.
You wouldn't expect that from him.
Yeah, and again, the Canadiens get a power play.
You felt it too. Like it was like, oh man, we're gonna be lucky to get 5 minutes into this overtime.
Yeah, well, I thought that was a dagger, and sure enough, it was just right away. I mean, they scored and won that game, and you just kind of think what could have been if they don't get a penalty. And we almost saw the same thing, but I think in the second game. But I think they changed the tide of this series. They ended a lot of bad streaks going into the second game. As we get into it here, just some notes to start. The Astu was taken out by Anderson in game 1. So we saw Declan Carlisle get his first ice time in the playoffs, and then Scott Sabrin replaced Connor Geekie. That was a decision. Geekie wasn't hurt. I just thought he didn't play well. And he took a dumb penalty, too, in that game as well in game 1. They were kind of dumping it into the zone. He was offsides. And then it took him forever to get back. They didn't even show it. He gets called for a penalty. They don't even show it on the screen. But it's like, what are you doing? Why aren't you just not getting back to the blue line? Because the Lightning were trying to take it into the offensive zone. And that really made me mad. Again, didn't see it. It could have been a dumb penalty, but Just a lack of hustle I saw on that, and then again taking a dumb penalty. So I understand the move there, and you want more of a defensive presence, more physical presence from Sabrin, and I think we definitely saw that. We get into the game here for game 2. I thought, again, to start the game, Montreal really led the pace. I thought Lightning were really struggling in the offensive zone and the neutral zone. And you look at the stats, they weren't able to get a shot until the 8-minute mark, shot on goal until the 8-minute mark of that game. But, just again, your spark plug and someone who has been so impactful in this series, Brandon Hagel, kind of like a fadeaway 3.
It was nice.
Just kind of, he's going towards the, almost the bench. He just flips it around. And, that was awesome. And all of a sudden they're in the lead. It kind of feels like, when you're the underdog team and you're on the road, you want greasy goals like that. You want to find it. And that's what kind of bothered me. It was like, we're the home team.
We're the home team.
We're
and
the home
favorite.
team. And the favorite, yeah. And we're like getting the greasy goal, the lucky one.
You do need those, though, especially in the playoffs. You're playing the best of the best at this point.
You do need it, but it didn't make me it felt good at the moment getting the goal, but going into the second period and throughout this game or throughout the first period, it's like, man, it feels like we are the road team.
What's Guy Boucher say? Create chaos around the net.
Yep. So yeah, it worked out in their favor. And then, too, the Lightning got into penalty after penalty in that first period. And again, you want them to stay more disciplined, especially how the last game went. And again, at the end of the first, Montreal was able to capitalize on the power play. Here we go again, right?
It does, in a lot of ways, feel similar to the Panthers in that they're just looking for a fight, and like the Lightning, they just can't resist.
I know.
Lightning love a good fight.
You got to stay away from it, though, And I like it, and I think, the funny thing about that, the ironic thing, is what really turned the tide of this game was the fight between Brandon Hagel
absolutely.
And Slavkovsky. And, man, just a clean right hook.
Dude, he went to the ground.
Yeah, that was so awesome. A TKO, technical knockout.
That's going to be like in the best fights any Lightning players ever had. Like just the victory on that one. So
yeah, well, I think it really changed the tide and it got them fired up.
And that's why you do it.
Mm-hmm. And I think, too, it even kept them from getting, unfazed, or it made them unfazed because Montreal ended up taking the lead at the end of the second period, going 2-1. So again, even with the fight, they just gave them enough momentum. And then I think we really started to see it shift in the third period. And one of the biggest things I got here is just some of the changes Coop made with the lines. The biggest, the lines he went with into the third period, he went with Sorelli, Hagel, and Cooch versus the Canadiens' top line. Nick Paul played center with Point and Gensel. Zemgus Girgensons played with Corey Perry and Scott Sabrin. And then Yanni Gourde on the line with Gonsalves and James, and that really turned it around. I think with that Gourde line, you had so much speed. They were creating so many scoring chances. Dominic James, he had a great one in overtime, almost won the game.
There were so many good shots in overtime.
Yeah, just completely changed the tide, and I wonder if we'll see these lineups. But
I would certainly hope so to start Game 3.
Yeah, and I think, too, just everything worked out like – Girgensons, Perry, and Sabrin. That line was just gritty, physical, and you love Corey Perry just because how physical he is, just always causing chaos. And I think all three of those paired together, Girgensons the same way. They're just scrappy. They're going to try to get the puck to the net. They're going to keep the puck in the offensive zone. And I think the other two were solid. I think. With the Braden Point, we kind of finally saw him get going. Seems like he's been kind of a ghost. But with Nick Paul there, we saw him get a shot on goal, so I thought that was huge. And then Cooch, of course. Cooch finally breaks his streak.
It was a nice
gets
one,
a goal to tie it into the third period. Just an athletic play, too, to wrap around.
It was a risky shot, too, because when he did it, I was like, oh, crap, that's going straight through the mouth of the net. And then the goalie backs up on it. I was like, oh, thank you.
I know, that was just so
hockey
awesome.
Gods, we needed that so bad.
And I think some foreshadowing here, the guy who was able to turn the puck over and keep it in the zone, or help turn the puck over, was J.J. Moser. A big play, something you didn't really see, and Hagel was able to keep it in, and then he takes a shot but J.J. Moser was able to kind of force that turnover to tie the game. And then again, we get into the weaning minutes of the third period, and Scott Sabre takes a boneheaded penalty. And you almost say again, here we go again, just kind of like the same thing. With 2 minutes and 15 seconds left, they originally called a 5-minute major.
I was so
and I was about to lose
mad
because I was like, "There's just no way you could call it. There's no way."
Yeah.
And thankfully they reversed it
It's
to
like
2.
swallow your whistles, guys, please.
I know.
It's like we only do that during the second series.
Yeah.
First series, we'll still call them.
I know. But thankfully they corrected it. Lightning were able to kill it off, and I think that was a difference from last game as we saw Lightning. I believe stopped 5 of 6 penalties compared to allowing 3 of 5. So we saw a huge improvement there in this game.
And that last penalty kill we were on at the end of the third was just pristine. I think they only got like 1 or 2 shots off.
Yeah, and that really built the momentum.
We carried that into overtime.
Because when we got into overtime, I mean, it was all Lightning.
Clinic.
It was all Lightning, and that's what gives you hope for the rest of the series, is that hopefully that woke them up.
Yeah.
And they finally got the win, J.J. Moser with the walk-off winner. But you just look at the stats here, 17-2 edge in shots, 9-0 in shots on goal, 9-0 in scoring chances. I mean, just total domination from the Lightning, and that's what we've been waiting to see.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this team to wake up.
It seems to be only when they're up against the wall, like on their backs, when they are able to play like that. So I don't know what it is, but maybe now that we're in Montreal and the fans are going to be loud as all get out, maybe that'll be the push we need to play with that kind of intensity. But man, if they can't, we'll dominate the beginning of that game, dude, for sure.
Yeah, and we'll get into the keys of the game here in a sec. But I think we do just have to again mention just how impactful Brandon Hagel has been through this series already. 3 goals, 1 assist, a Gordie Howe hat trick in the last game. But I think the biggest thing, too, is he has kept the best line for the Canadiens off the scoreboard at 5-on-5. And so, he can score goals. He's been the spark plug. He's, done everything you need him to do. But then also on the defensive end, he's been shutting down their top line. So you can't say enough about him and how this team has rallied around him, and just way to step up for him. So I think, hats off to Brandon Hagel.
I think he's our next captain.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, that's another conversation, but I think when the time comes, it'll be his.
Yeah. Speaking of our captain, currently, we don't know what's going on.
I don't really want to assume on it either.
I don't want to assume on it either, but it is getting frustrating.
I've been hearing like whispers that maybe he'd come back for the next series if we advance.
Well,
but I don't necessarily want him.
I know. Do we really need him?
I mean, like you're shaking the boat.
Yeah, I really don't know, and I want to know what's going on because like he's traveling with the team. He was on the team.
Oh, he is. I thought he was back in Sweden.
No, he's on the team plane going to Montreal. I don't know when they flew today. Probably earlier this morning.
Well, then I guess maybe he should come back and play then, because that's awkward as all get out.
Yeah, I just don't know what's going on, and it'd really be nice to have your captain out there. But it is great to see other guys stepping up and taking that leadership role, especially like Brandon Hagel. But I mean, we're praying for Hedman. Hopefully, everything is all well. But it is. I do have to express some frustration because
now that I know that, I'm a little bit more annoyed.
Yeah,
because I thought he was sorting stuff out at home in Sweden.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. He's been practicing too. Well, he's practicing by himself.
Oh, that's really weird.
I know. Like, I mean,
concerning.
what in the world is going on?
It's like, does he have something out for Cooch or something? Like, what is it?
Yeah, who knows?
That's player to player at that point.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre. But yeah, so we'll see. Game 3, Friday night at 7 p.m. What are your keys for a Lightning victory?
I'd say start out quick, stay out of the penalty box. Those are a given. If Point can get on the board at any capacity, I think that would be just a motivation for him. Kind of, oh yeah, that's what it's like to be elite. And then we could take the series with us at that point. Yeah,
I mean, man, if Point got it going, we would be in a really good spot. I think, yeah, I completely agree. Point needs to get it going. And yeah, to just staying out of the box. I just don't go for the low-hanging fruit. They're going to be cheap. They're going to be dirty, but you have to play a clean game. We saw a lot better stuff on the penalty kill in last game, but I don't want to see it reverse, especially when they're at home. Going to have a little bit more juice, so you have to stay out of the box. I think you got to put some more pressure, too, on Dobris. They've had good scoring opportunities on him, but they haven't.
Nothing that would, just jaw-dropping,
Yeah, he hasn't had to stand on his head.
Yeah.
They've put the pressure on him at times, but he really hasn't had to do a whole lot out. And we see how much Vazzy's had to do. He's had to come up with some incredible saves. Especially, they're putting so much pressure on him in game one. I was looking at, the heat chart for shots, and it's just bright red right over the paint, right over the crease, right in front of him. And it's how do you let so many guys just tee off on him and untouched, just wide open shots right in front of him? We need to see more pressure like that, except on the other end. Even look at game one, high danger chances in 5-on-5. Lightning had one the entire game. It was a lot better in the second game, but again, we need to put more pressure on him because I think he'll start giving up some goals. I had the same thing, play more discipline, and
and if overtime goes for anything, if we can keep that kind of intensity we had, there was a lot of great stops that he had, so maybe that continues. I know there's no such thing as momentum, but if we can carry that momentum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else on the Lightning before we...
Shall we predict the game?
Yeah. I think the Lightning will win 3-2. I'm saying Lightning win 3-2. Game-winning goal. Game-winning goal. Give me Gonsalves. Give me a Gonsalves goal.
I'm not so positive. I think that was a flash in the flash in the container, whatever. I don't remember what the saying is. I think we'll lose 5-2.
5-2.
I think that was a flash in the pan.
What's your prediction for the rest of the series?
We'll lose in 6.
Oh, dude. So you don't think it was any spark? You don't think it's going to carry
flash in the pan?
Over? All right, I still have faith in this team.
A little taste of what once was.
Well, this game will certainly decide it, I think.
Yeah, I'll sprinkle in some positivity. The game we'll win will be a home game. So is that game 5?
Mm-hmm.
We'll win game 5. There you go.
All right.
So at least we'll leave the fans with a little bit more excitement.
Yep. I guess we'll end on a sour note there.
I'm probably wrong, but...
Hopefully. Have faith. I have faith. I believe in this team. They gave me some faith. So we'll see how it goes. Tune in Friday, 7 p.m. And let's go to the Rays.
Do you believe in the Rays?
Do I believe in the Rays? Yes and no.
It's hard.
I think they've surprised me a little bit.
I believe in them more than when we started this season.
Yeah, definitely that. But, I just still think as we go through this, it's just really been that bullpen. It's just been absolutely killer.
I wish that baseball teams would trade for bullpen help earlier on in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw in an extra prospect, get a good Rockies bullpen guy or something.
Yeah, they have one of the best ERAs, bullpen ERAs in baseball, which is crazy.
It's you're gonna probably trade for them 2 players in the coming months. Just say, hey, we'll give you 3 right now.
Yeah, but knowing the Rays, I don't think we'll see that.
No,
I don't think we'll see that.
Nope.
We'll just go through it briefly because, again, there wasn't a whole lot. I sure am happy we are not playing the NL Central anymore because we finished 1-2 versus every single team in the NL Central. We played them all. Yeah. Somehow we played them all already as early as the season
at least
is.
we're consistent.
Yeah, but 1-2 consistency. Started off in the Pirates series last weekend. The revenge of Brandon Lau. As we go to game 1, it was Bubba Chandler versus Nick Martinez. Pirates carried a 1-0 lead going into the 6th when finally the Rays get after Chandler on a Junior Cabanero single that would score Simpson. It was 1-1, but as we get into the 6th, Nick Martinez would give up his second run to make it 2-1. And then we just saw the same old bullpen. Griffin Jacks give up a run. Yandris Gomez will give up 2, and the Rays cannot do anything offensively, which will lead to a 5-1 win. I don't have a whole lot on it. Just kind of the classic Rays game. A little disappointed, at least this last series versus the Pirates and the Reds. Just haven't been scoring a whole lot of runs. He scored 1 run on Friday, and then Sunday 3. But man, this game, if any game were to give me hope for what the Rays would do the rest of the season, would definitely have been Saturday.
Oh, absolutely.
Magical game.
Thank you, rain.
Yeah, the rain, a huge delay. It was Paul Skeens, and thinking, that's a pretty surefire loss for the Rays. But rain delay, he only goes 4 innings. He doesn't come back out. I think it was, 2.5 hours?
Yeah, that was
2.5 hours. Yeah, Drew Rasmussen, he got knocked around a little bit too, which was kind of surprising to start. He only went 3-2, gave up 4 earned runs, and then it goes into the delay, so it's 4-0 Pirates. We come back, and then the Rays rally in the 5th. Caminero with the double. Aranda had a single, DeLuca with the double, and Mullins with a single, and all of a sudden it's 5-4 Rays. Then we get to the bottom of the 8th, and the Pirates would score on a single to make it 5-5. Then we go to extra innings. Starts off, it felt like neither team wanted to win for some of this, but we get to the top of the 11th and a throwing error. To pick off Walls at first. Walls would end up rounding the entire bases and scoring to make it 6-5, but immediately in the bottom of the 11th, the Rays give it up right back, and it's 6-6. And we get to the 13th. Lucky number 13, Cedric Mullins, 2-run home run.
13 in the 13th, yeah.
Oh, man, what a moment in the rain, deep to right center. And Yandris Gomez almost blows it in 13th, but he's able to hold on. The Rays win 8-7.
This was a good showing by the bullpen in this game, though.
Yeah.
They only give up 2 runs, 1 being the stupid ghost runner.
Yeah, they played well. Griffin Jacks had a nice bounce-back game. Kevin Kelly looked great. Cole Sulser. Really, the one downside was Brian Baker. He gave up that run to tie it in the bottom of the 8th. But other than that, you look at Hunter Biggie, no earned runs. Ian Seymour, no earned runs. Mason Englert, who's on the 15-day IL now. But I think that's so far has been my favorite game of the year.
Yeah, that'll be one you remember.
I don't know if anything will top that. Hopefully something tops it. Maybe.
It was still pretty good.
Playoff clinching win.
It had a lot of different storylines going. So.
Mm-hmm. And then Sunday, the Rays lose the rubber match 6-3. Shane McClanahan with the loss. He went 4.1 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 earned runs. He had 5 strikeouts. We're just waiting for Shane to look like Shane again.
Yeah, it'll be a while. Probably post All-Star break, I think.
Yeah, it's going to take some time, and we're just hoping, but you can tell he's frustrated with himself. He wants to go better.
And that's part of the problem, too. It's like he has to understand his limits right now.
Mm-hmm. I know. I think he wants to try to get to 6 every game, and he's kind of breaking down at around 4 in the 5th innings. But yeah, he's just got to stay patient. It'll come. I mean, I've liked what I've seen so far. Have you any thoughts on him?
I mean, it's just stuff's there. Like it's just a matter of consistency now, like keeping it in the zone. So, I don't know. How's his speed? I haven't looked at his speed. Is he faster now than the pre-injury?
I mean, I think his fastball's averaging around 97. I saw it pop up to 98 at one point.
Okay,
I think
so speed's not an issue. That's good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I could be wrong. So if someone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's kind of capped out at 98.
I mean, that's great though for considering all he's been through.
Yeah, it's really just been kind of command and control. Yeah. Sometimes he struggled with walks and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, he's looked pretty solid.
The annoying thing about this Pirates series is they're going to be like 10 games under 500 beginning of September. It's like, why do we always face the Pirates when they're good? Because wasn't it the year when we started out really good? I know that they were really good that year, and it was like we either swept them or we only took 2 or 3. I think we only took 2 or 3. I think they might have been the team that beat us.
Which we were talking 2023?
23, I think so. I don't remember. It's not.
Well, the Blue Jays ended the streak.
Okay. I think we like had to do some magic to beat the Pirates that series.
Wasn't that Faith Day?
We beat them Faith Day.
Yeah, well, that was that series. I think they might. Yeah, we might only take it 2 out of 3.
The Pirates always seem to beat us early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's always the away series. It seems so.
I think this year they might be good. They might. They might be
just
for
every
real.
time we're like, man, look at the Pirates at Memorial Day, and then it's like, oh, they're the Pirates. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I do kind of think they're going to be
prove me wrong,
legit.
Pirates. Prove me wrong.
I think the NL Central is going to be a crazy division. And again, we've seen all of them. I think the Cardinals are obviously the weakest team, but I think the Cubs will turn it around. The Reds, Terry Francona, man, he's a winner. He is a winner. But yeah, this series did not start off great. Let me get to the game 1 here. The Rays would lose 6-1 in the opening game. We saw Schultens. He pitched 5.2 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 earned runs. He gave some work. I mean, he really gave the Rays a lot of work. Just kind of started falling apart there at the end.
No walks. I mean, at least he ate some innings. Yeah.
Yeah, he ate some innings. 6 strikeouts. We saw Trevor Martin make his MLB debut. He went 2.1 innings. He gave up an earned run, gave up 2 hits. But, yeah, the damage was already done with Schultens. And, again, the Rays scored 1 run in the first on a walk. Diaz walked, and Simpson would score on it. But that would literally be it for the rest of the game. Rays were...
Man, that inning had so much hope when they did that walk, but it was like, that'll be all.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at some of these. Caminero had a hit. Aranda. Simpson had 2.
Simpson's back. I was worried about Simpson there for a second.
Yeah, he was kind of falling off a little bit in the Pirates series. But
yeah, I was a little concerned. I was like, they're going to punish us by making him hit 7th again.
Yeah, thankfully they didn't do that.
Yeah, I counted. I think he's got like 5 hits in his last 3 games or something like that.
Then Tuesday, I don't even want to talk about it. 12-6 loss.
I'll talk about it. The Trop is beautiful.
You were there.
It's a wonderful place. There's so much light coming in the building now. Scoreboard's great. There's still cheapskates and need to always have ads on the screen at almost any points to make you forget how big the scoreboard is. What else? A lot of good new restaurants. There's a Johnny Rockets in there now. I was very impressed by that. Yeah.
Interesting. You did get pretzel bites.
Pretzel bites were good. I got them toward like the 7th, so they weren't as fresh as they could have been, but still very good.
Still very good. All right.
Ballpark and Rec's back. I was concerned about that one. Ballpark and Rec's back. They have pool tables behind the wall in center field.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I saw a video. I didn't see the
like the Budweiser porch.
Yeah, I think I saw that there was pool tables over there now. They moved a lot of the ordering kiosks around, which I'm not too thrilled about. Like you kind of have to go like find those, but other than that, it's good.
Felt good to be back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, unfortunately,
my parking spot was still there.
Did you park by the fields across the street?
Yes, I was worried. I was like, they're gonna get rid of them.
Nobody monitored it.
No, they're gonna start more. Nope. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, in some ways it feels good, but in other ways it's like, man, I just want to get out of here.
Yeah, if you want to find cheap, free parking, DMS will give you our spot.
There you go.
But yeah, Steven Matz just didn't have it right from the get-go. So many foul pitches. I mean, they were just fouling him off and forcing him to throw into the zone, and then they're punishing him for it. Gave up a bunch of home runs. I think, 3? Yeah, it was 3 home runs, 2 in the second. 2 in the second, 1 in the first. De La Cruz opened it up with a home run. And then Chase Burns, on the other hand, he's a 2-pitch pitcher. Really got that fastball and the slider, but it is deadly. And the Rays really struggled against him. Had a nice little rally at the bottom of the 9 there for
I'll be honest. The person I went with needed to get home to do homework, so I left.
Oh.
It was the Lightning game. It was completely the Lightning game. It was like, all right, let's get out of here, watch the Lightning game.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, again, it was what, 12-2 at that point, so game was over. But you know what? There's always a tomorrow. There's always a new day, and that was today as we were filming this on Wednesday, April 22nd. The Rays get a win. Their perfect streak of 1-2 versus every NL Central team stays intact. But I think, the star of this game today would be Nick Martinez going 8 innings.
Dude, they should have let him go.
Let him go all the way. I know.
How many I mean, I'm not going to be able to find it, but I doubt
95.
Okay, 95?
95, so he could have done it. He could have done it for sure.
Give him a 10-pitch limit. You can have 10 pitches in the ninth.
Mm-hmm.
You get out of it under 10, it's yours.
But, yeah, good stuff on him. I mean, everything was working for him. You look at some of these innings, only like 7 pitches, 9 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, it was a clinic.
Just so efficient and really gave the bullpen a much-needed break. And you're hoping something
only
like that.
Only 6 strikeouts now. That's how you get it done.
Yeah.
Speed. All about speed.
Exactly. And you're hoping with the bullpen there to get, a nice extended break. Maybe that can reset the group. Maybe, that rest will help. And, it's just so good on him, and what a surprise he's been, especially after such a rough spring. I mean, he's had great start after great start and really came up today when the Rays needed him. Offensively, the Rays look great. Junior Caminero had a home run, a lot of singles. Ryan Vilade, what a day, man. 2 for 2 with an RBI.
That would be welcome. The outfield has been pretty sad.
Yeah, hey, I'll take it. If he starts hitting, I will 100% take it. So that's been your recap for the Rays. Do you have any notes? Anything?
Let me see.
The worst thing I saw, the Rays are dead last in giving home runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning in the league.
Yeah.
Which is understandable considering how bad they've been, but I just hate seeing them. I hate reading stuff like that. So, again, hopefully a day like this where they got some rest that can reset them for the Twins series this weekend where they'll be at home. There's a giveaway on Saturday, too, that Rays Tour T-shirt. So if anybody's interested in that.
Chandler Simpson's got hits in 6 of his last 7 games, so that's good because he was a little chilly.
Yeah, because what was it? He had the streak, the on-base streak.
Yeah.
And I think that ended versus Pittsburgh. Or no, White Sox. Ended versus White Sox.
He went 1 for 17. No, 1 for 13 in the White Sox series. So that was kind of where it was like, oh, Simpson.
He had like an 0 for 5, 0 for 6 day. Pirates, so he didn't do a whole lot.
Pirates, he went 5 for 15. So that's
okay.
not,
so not
yeah. So it was really just the White Sox series, but he's back. We're good.
Yeah.
No concerns there. So I'd say that's the positive of this little losing streak here. But Simpson never left.
Yeah, and we need him to stay consistent, stay hot, and hopefully he'll stay hot against the Twins this weekend. Do you have a home run prediction, Abe? Who's gonna hit a home run this series?
We said Diaz in the thread, right? Well, I'll stick with Diaz.
Yandy, yeah. I like Yandy Diaz to get a home run. Again, we've seen the Twins already this season. It was cold, chilly, and snowy. The Rays were able to win that series. What's the standings? At one point, the Twins were atop the American League.
We got the Guardians. We got the Guardians.
Guardians are up top in the Central now. I think
the Twins are barely 500.
Yeah, Yankees are first place in the AL right now, 14-9.
Oh, great, they're on a 4-game win streak. The Yankees.
Yeah. Even though we swept them. I don't care.
That means we're really good. Then, right?
Totally. If they can do whatever they want, we swept them. We own them right now, so that's a good thing.
They swept the Royals.
So yeah, Lightning won't be in town. So this weekend, take a date, a mate.
Yeah, you got to get out there. This is only the second affordable series the Rays have had. So go get some pretzels. Go check. You got to go to the upper deck. That's what I need to do next. I want to go up there for the unlimited food, the party deck.
Oh yeah. I gotta try.
That's my next game.
We gotta try that. Yeah. I'm looking. What is? I have to be there. It's what day is it?
And I didn't realize
May 2nd.
I didn't realize the Reds were going to be good. Like I bought those tickets fully planning on winning.
Yeah, it's just Francona, man.
Yeah,
He's just a winner.
He's a winner, yeah.
Sal Stewart looks like Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz is playing pretty well, and he has a good average, which I think has been his struggle. He's always been like a home run hitter, but I think like he just hasn't got on base as much. But now he's kind of turning into a solid overall hitter. It's not just a power. Yeah, they got a lot of good pieces. Chase Burns, obviously, and they're still without like Hunter Green. They'll get him back at some point. And their bullpen's great as well. But yeah, Saturday, May 2nd. That's when they're doing the giveaway with the little Trop replica.
Oh,
I have to be there for that. I have to be there for it.
You gotta shop now. Get your $10 tickets unless you want to spend like $50. You're hard booked to it.
Knowing me, I'll wait till
you're gonna buy the $60 tickets, but you probably could get $10 tickets right now.
I know. I'll just be waiting till the last minute.
And they weren't bad. They were just past third base. The ones I got just past third base, in the overhang spot.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. So that is your Tampa Bay Rays coverage, and we got one more team to cover because tomorrow is the NFL Draft, and your Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the 15th overall pick. There's been a lot of mock drafts. There's been a lot of trade rumors, this and that, but tomorrow night will be the night. We'll see what the Bucs do. And I can tell you a lot of things. I could sit here and tell you who they should draft, who they should look after. But I think the biggest thing I'll do is I'll tell them who not to draft, and that is Kenyon Sadiq. I've seen too many drafts, mock drafts, where the Bucs are going after Oregon tight end Kenyon Sadiq, and I don't understand it. And I would be absolutely furious if Jason Light were to make this move. I would lose all faith in his ability to continue because you need defense. I don't care if it's a linebacker, a cornerback, edge. I mean, I think we'd all agree we'd love an edge rusher. But if you go after, and I know he said that before, like, we'll just take the best guy. You don't need a tight end. You just re-signed Kate Otten. Why on planet Earth would you go after and get a rookie tight end in the first round? It makes no sense to me. You have to stay away from that.
No,
I am begging.
Tight end's the spot I would want like a veteran. Just bring in like a veteran. Just keep that train
bring in
going.
a veteran, or I mean, seriously, or get somebody in the late round. You don't need it, especially after you just re-signed Kate Otten. You don't need a receiver. I've seen a lot of rumors swirling around. Jordan Tyson, the receiver from Arizona State. Again, why? Why? I know you lost Mike Evans, and I think there are probably some fans out there who go, well, we need somebody to replace him. What happened to Emeka Ibuka?
Yeah.
I thought that was a whole point of drafting him last year instead of a defensive player, was to eventually replace Mike Evans, because it was going to happen. Whether it was this year like it was or a couple years down the road, you were going to have to replace him at some point. And that's Ibuka, and you just have to ride with it. And if he's not the guy, then again, this all falls back onto Jason Light and his ability to draft, and his ability to create a winning team, a Super Bowl caliber team. So that's really my big thing. You just cannot do that. I think another story has been Ruben Bain out of Miami, the edge rusher, kind of the incident he was involved with, the reckless driving. And again, I don't want to sound insensitive. We have all made mistakes. Plenty of people have done wrong things, have made mistakes behind the wheel. Is that a reason to not draft him? I would say no. I'd say he'd learn. People can learn from their mistakes. Again, this was a couple years ago at this point. It hasn't seemed to have had any issues since. And, I think, too, a lot of things like we go back to Jason Light where he talks about, we want to draft guys of character. And that's impossible to do. And I think you can just look at stuff like Devin White. That guy didn't have any issues coming out of college. And all of a sudden he turns into a locker room cancer.
Large turd, yeah.
Yep, and he's off the team. He didn't have any issues. He was probably a good character guy. He was a leader at LSU.
Yeah, that's true. Like give him $5 million, see what his character is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
You look at, Henry Ruggs. I know he wasn't a Buccaneer, but the wide receiver for the Raiders. There's that famous quote of Nick Saban talking about him. He didn't have one problem at Alabama. Didn't have one problem there. Not one incident. And he ends up making a huge mistake and killing someone behind the wheel when he shouldn't have been driving. And again, you look at probably the scouting reports for him in the draft. Was he a high character guy? Was he somebody high on the list? Was he a leader from a prestigious program like Alabama? He probably was. And he made a mistake, and you don't ever know. And I think there is a chance, and we've seen it time and time again, where some mistake comes up at this point, in the off season, and it's all what the buzz, and everybody's talking about it, and guys will fall. And if you're one of those teams who make a mistake and don't pick up somebody like Ruben Bain, including the Bucs, I mean, that is just a failure that's unforgivable. And I think he'll end up going probably earlier. I don't know if the Bucs will get him at 15, but if he does, you have to pull the trigger on it. You have to. I think this guy's a game changer. I think he's something the Bucs need. You just look at his film at Miami, and I mean, he is just a monster and somebody they desperately need. You have to go after him. You cannot pull the character thing because, again, you truly don't know. You don't know what a guy's going to be like anyway. You have to get guys you need. And if they draft somebody like Kenyon Sadiq over Ruben Bain, I will be extremely upset. And I just think there should be rumblings after this draft if something like that were to happen about his job security and whether he's the right guy for this Bucs franchise.
For sure.
Some names I think to look out for if you are the Bucs in this draft: Arvell Reese from Ohio State, David Bailey, the edge from Texas Tech, Zion Young, edge from Missouri, Keldrick Falk, an edge from Auburn, Malachi Lawrence from UCF. I really like Cassius Howell from Texas A&M. He's an edge rusher. I think that's somebody the Bucs should take if he's there at 15. That's somebody high on my list. I think linebackers too, because I want an edge. Edge is number one for me. I wouldn't mind a linebacker. I think Sonny Styles, I mean, what a player from Ohio State. I don't know if he's going to be there at 15. If he is, I mean, that's somebody you go right after. Because I think Alex Anzalone, he's still getting up there in age. You're going to need some linebackers. You're going to need Servace Dennis to step up. So if there is a linebacker there, you take him. C.J. Allen from Georgia, somebody who's been popping up recently. I think he'd be a solid pick. Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech, that would also be somebody who's pretty good. So if they're there, take them. I just think you have to go defense in this draft. I want to touch on Messidor, but do you have any thoughts? Anybody who you want them?
I mean, I'd be more than willing to trade up in this draft a couple picks. Like, I don't trust Jason like that much with any of the lower picks. So I mean, go all in for your first and second round picks, I'd say.
Yeah, you mean like trade back or trade up?
Trade up.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If they trade up and got Ruben Bain, I'd be the happiest man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, what are you really going to do with your fourth pick or your third pick next year? Like trade a couple spots up.
Yeah, well, and hopefully they do that, because I've heard there's been some rumors, some breaking news today that it seems like there's going to be an O-lineman frenzy in the draft between picks 10 and 15. It could be like 9 O-linemen drafted in the first round is what they're kind of recently projecting. In the Bucs, since they're sitting at 15, you could see a lot of teams trade up with the Bucs. They've been kind of rumored to be part of some maybe possible trades to trade back in the draft. Once again, I disagree with it. I think you got to get a difference maker on defense with that 15 pick. I don't think you trade back for it unless you're getting some insane value. But again, I just don't see what that is. A couple later round picks.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do with those?
I know. I just think you have to keep 15, either trade up like you said, or you just take the best available edge or linebacker at 15. That's my choice. I've seen one last guy I've seen a lot of talk about is Akeem Mesidor from Miami. He was also the edge, kind of the counterpart to Ruben Bain. And I've seen Bucs, some mock drafts where the Bucs take him. I think my problem with him is he's 25. He's pretty old, I guess, for rookie standards. And again, he's had some issues with foot surgery. That's somebody I would say you take in the second round if he's available. You maybe trade up in the second round if he's available for that. I don't think you take him at 15. I think that would be a mistake for the Bucs if they did that. But That's really all I have. It's really just kind of a message to Jason Light, like, please, you got to make the right decision here. And the right decision is to take an edge or a linebacker at 15 or trade up like Joel says. Not anything else. No Kenyon Sadiq. Please.
No
please.
man of character. Get some dogs.
Get some dogs. Again, just too many mistakes. You need to have a good draft here. You, especially for this Bucs team the way it is, you need to make some home run picks. They need it. They desperately need it. So that's all I have. That is tomorrow night, Thursday. Tune in. We'll be covering it. We'll be letting everybody know who they pick. So look on X, look on Twitter to see our updates. So, yeah, that's all I have. You got anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for listening. Tune into the Lightning, Rays, and the draft tomorrow night. This is in TB3 Sports Talk. Have a good night.